Welcome back to VFX and Chill.
Hello, everybody, and a very happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody watching.
That includes you, Michael. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing swell.
Top of the morning.
That's enough for Michael this week. Everyone thank Michael for being here. See you, pal. Oh, no, my buttons aren't working.
Oh, no. The stream deck is
you've got an evil leprechaun. Leprechauns are on the rampage.
They're on the move.
They are. Just as gremlins are actually documented in, the Air Force, documents about plane safety, leprechauns, and computer tomfoolery go hand in hand.
Ooh, someone using Celtic in the chat. Thank you for being in the spirit of things, John Birmingham.
John Birmingham.
And if you are joining us on the Action Movie Kids channel and wonder what this is VFX and Chill. This is a live weekly talk show where Seth Worley, who makes amazing films, me, and Michael, who jumps out of helicopters. This is my description for you in general.
Why are you still doing that? You don't work for the Army anymore. You got to stop that, Michael.
I don't care to learn any new facts about Michael. And so
I no longer jump out of
That's not true. But today is St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to y'all. And I feel like celebrating. How about you guys?
I do too. How are you celebrating?
Should we celebrate with drinks?
Let's celebrate with drinks.
Because I came ready. I've got a very green drink here made with avocados and kale, so it's nice and green. So cheers,
Michael. What else is in it?
Bananas.
It's weird that you left the bananas.
So when we said make yourself
if I keep asking you, will you just keep saying new things or endless amounts of ingredients? Michael,
it's just cocoa and some chili powder and avocados and bananas.
Okay, it does get more delicious with every ingredient, but buddy, it's St. Patrick's Day. We are Hashi, you're drinking, right?
Oh yeah. I've left it in my windowsill over here.
I went to make an old fashioned. My go-to tends to be is either like an old-fashioned or a Sazerac. I love a Sazerac because I love the smell of the absinthe, and absinthe is green, so I thought it'd be a good one to do, but I was out of absinthe. So I went to make old-fashioned.
Turns out I'm always out of absinthe every time.
Turns out I'm also out of whiskey. I had a little bit left, enough. I had like a little bit of whiskey, so I made up the difference with Cointreau, and I haven't tasted it yet, so I have no idea what I'm in for.
I have no idea what I'm in for either. I have, this is alcohol in this jar. And
just not even a specific, like.
But, no, I have some, it's going to be very sweet. It's some Disaronno and Cointreau and Coke. So it's going to be a very, very sweet drink. Children, if you're watching this on the Action Movie Kids channel, don't drink. And
but do settle a bet for us. Is it
drink
Cointreau?
Responsibly.
Is it Cointreau or Cointreau?
It's Cointreau, actually. So I have updated now. I've got some coffee here with some Irish cream in it, made with Irish cream and Irish whiskey.
Closer. There we go.
But it's Colombian coffee though, so it's from Colombia, not really from.
They're gonna know, Michael. They know. Irish people know.
Hang on. Speaking of Colombia.
Anybody here Irish? Michael, you Irish at all?
No. I mean, my mother's half of me is English with a little bit of Dutch.
Hashi, what about you?
My father's half of me is Polish and Lithuanian.
Wow.
Though, interestingly, I mean, I am quite Irish. My grandfather, Dr. Edward Hashimoto from the University of Utah, famously Irish. Because there was this weird little point in history where people were very interested in people with the last name Hashimoto, and as a well-respected member of the community and a professor at the local university, he, asserted our Irish descent. It's Hashimoto, classic Irish name, doffed a bowler cap and refused to live in an internment camp. Cheers.
Damn, cheers.
All right, so the Colombian coffee got me thinking. I have this spirit, which is made with 17 South American botanicals,
What?
including coca leaves, and it's green, and it's distilled in Ireland. It's called Cosalero. So cheers.
Cocoa leaves.
Michael's drinking from a gummy bear.
The leaf coca, yeah, where Coca-Cola gets its name from.
Exactly.
And cocaine.
And
Cheers,
cocaine.
everybody.
To cocaine, everybody. Don't
Happy
do
St.
cocaine.
Patrick's Day. And there's actually another greenish
Delicious.
reason why I feel like celebrating today.
Greenish.
And it's a reason that we could all actually probably celebrate. And that is some good news. I don't remember if we were showing it at the top of the show, Seth.
We were showing. Yes, we were. We were displaying the thing that is worth celebrating. Our long national nightmare is over, ladies and gentlemen. Hashi and I once again have access to our account, but with Raptors. Unfortunately, this is what you were talking about, right?
That is what I'm talking about. It's green, worth celebrating. There's a bowler cap on the front.
But the Air Force One image is prominent because we don't negotiate with terrorists or hackers. That was Harrison Ford impression. It was flawless. And then, we got it back. It's ours again. Unfortunately, it is but with Raptors instead of but with Raptors. Did people need to know why that's the case, or
Because of hacking reasons.
stupid hacking reasons? There is a but with Raptors that exists. It is the account. It is not our account. It is suspended. I don't understand what the hacker was doing. But
it was a process of they changed the handle on But with Raptors and then signed up for But with Raptors to reserve it for themselves, and then we recovered our original account, but we couldn't use the other name that they'd grabbed just because, I hate this hacker crap.
I love this, however, that you made after the Oscars. I would like to eat
Thank
the
you.
Academy and the Spielberg.
It was, I think, the day that we got it was very close to the day we got our account back, and I had to do something.
Yeah, and you did, and I'm so proud that you did. It's very funny.
Justin Leduc says, what is the pint of today's stream? Which I thought was very nice. But they're saying that I wish they'd get to the tutorial part already. So, two lovely puns from Justin Leduc.
My goodness. Well, Seth, if you want to cut to my screen for a second.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I'm not starting on the tutorial-ish yet, but I do want to, along with But with Raptors, let me see if I can switch over to
I want to go ahead and show them.
But with Mando.
Actually, go ahead and show them the password for But with Raptors while you're there. It's just good that we get that out.
Now the O in Raptors is a 0, so try figuring that one out.
Hackers.
So the last time we were on, we were doing a Mandalorian episode, and during that actual episode, I learned a skill, which was doing blend shapes, which was a lot of fun, and they worked out really well for this. Look at this animated baby Yoda. Made it from scratch. It's got some bouncing little ears.
It's so freaking
and stuff
fun.
like that. I'm just gonna call Grogu Baby Yoda always. I think. I don't know.
The bouncing ears just add so much.
Yeah,
to
it really does. And the shading you've got going on. Oh my god, the ears really do, and the little blinks.
Thank you. I was very pleased with this in the end.
The Mandalorian's blinks are also excellent.
So good. I don't know why you went to that much work, but it absolutely was worth it.
You can just feel it. It's like you can hear in someone's voice if they're smiling. You can feel if Pedro's not blinking, and directors are constantly jumping on him. Like, don't stare through the visor the whole time. It's weird.
Should we keep making some But with Mandos? Not at the pace that But with Raptors, but
no, not at that pace. But feel free to give But with Mando a follow if you would like.
Because there were a few that we figured out.
It's a fun exercise, and I'm very thankful to Darren Frankovitz for working with us on letting us know that blend shapes. How they worked, and I feel like we kind of workshopped how blend shapes worked last time, which was really cool. And here's the product. So I just wanted everybody to get to see that product.
And plus, Hashi and I thought of a couple very funny ones after the show, after the last show.
That's excellent. So if a Velociraptor reveal isn't quite the thing,
yeah,
a Mando reveal might be good.
Absolutely.
If you don't like dinosaurs, how about robot-looking dudes? And to those of you in the chat who are not in the United States, hello. We are coming to you an hour early because daylight savings time happened in the U.S.
Daylight savings, you make our lives chaos.
Especially next year when half the states are going to keep it and half the states aren't.
We've got it. They've got it together, huh?
We do. We are a united country, undivided by daylight savings time. It's the only thing that divides us, actually.
It's the only thing. But Seth, if you do want to switch back to my screen, and then I promise we will get to some tutorial stuff, but this is adjacent tutorial stuff. But we are broadcasting on Maxon, which is our parent company, and the Maxon training team does a really cool series called Demystifying Post-Production. And I just want to show you the thumbnails for the next couple of weeks of Demystifying, where they are, there's this kind of familiar face in these thumbnails, which are great. So great. Please check out the first one coming up on the 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific, and give it a try. It's a really cool idea of trying to talk about post-production from all different angles. And if you want, while you're on the Maxon training team, check out everything else. And if you want to give us brownie points, go subscribe to the Maxon training team channel. And then I can say, like, look at our outreach and deliverables.
Hey Hashi, can you take a peek at that one Ask the Trainer special? It looks special. It says the word special real big.
Special.
I wonder what that could be about.
Very interesting and exciting. And scheduled for March 30th.
It says they can't tell us what it's about.
It's my favorite 30th.
Ooh.
Odd. Mysterious.
Odd. Very special. And also, hey, while we're here, you should check out what Michael Zlapski's been doing over on Red Giant, huh?
Michael, what have you done?
Don't do that.
I'm doing it. Hey, look at this right here on the thing. We have. Wait, where is it? I thought it was.
Oh, it's coming on Monday.
Oh,
it's coming on Monday.
I'm just giving away stuff. Oh yeah, I could.
Hey, if you pull up a link, it's an unlisted link, but it's there. You could pop it. You could pop it into there and just give people a taste of what it's doing. We've got a cool vaporwave inspired.
I did promise. I did not mean to cut to this, but there's no time like the present. I was just doing some historical research on this holiday we're celebrating today, and I can pull it back up.
No, it's fine.
But I believe that it was a historical representation of when St. Patrick drove all the dinosaurs out of Ireland. I think
the dinosaurs out.
Among them, velociraptors, and they were pretty historically accurate at the time. Like in the 1700s, they painted them with feathers. And then it was only, in like the 70s and 80s, we went for these like scaly looking dinosaurs. But they always knew, as evidenced by this painting from a year that existed.
I mean, I love that we both went for dinosaurs being chased out of Ireland joke. You did this much better one, and I just threw a dragon into a shot of an Irish castle for the promo.
That was very funny because the whole spot you're waiting for it to be VFX and chill, like to have something weird, and then it just creeps in the back. Like, oh, amazing. I forgot.
Well, here on VFX and Chill, we like to break down visual effects and also make some of our own. But today we're doing it while drinking, which is exciting. I'm excited about that. Seth, what do you think that you might like to do on this fine St. Patrick's Day?
Well, right now, when I think of Ireland, and I think of Ireland a lot, I think of a movie that I very much enjoyed called The Banshees of Inisherin. And it is possibly the most Irish movie I've ever seen in my life.
It's like, Hollywood went, let's get all of our Irish people together and make a film.
Which is not safe, because if something were to happen, like, I don't know if we'd have any more. Like, they're literally all in this movie. And it's fantastic. It's a very, very weird, very funny, very sweet movie that I highly recommend, and I will try not to spoil things. Suffice to say, the concept of the movie
it doesn't mean we won't spoil the imagery.
Oh, it doesn't mean we won't ruin it. I just won't spoil the plot
I just
for
wanted
you.
to. I didn't want to.
Yeah, essentially it's a story about Colin Farrell's character and Brendan Gleeson's character are longtime like best friends, and then one day Brendan Gleeson just decides I don't want to be your friend anymore, and won't give Colin Farrell a reason, any explanation for it, and just said
That's
I just
Tom Gleeson for you.
I freaking love this scene especially, and I think it'd be when Brendan Gleeson just says, let me see if I can.
Oh, did I say dumb?
You did. I thought it was a joke, but I was like,
I
they are
shouldn't
related.
be drinking.
He says, I just don't like it. Oh, I forgot I changed my audio hardware here. Let's see. Settings, audio hardware.
If you have multiple sound devices on your device, one way to switch between what the output is right here in the preferences.
Oh, you know what? Why don't I do this? Well, no, I'll do this.
Something when I was drunk and I've forgotten it. But if I did, then tell me what it was. And I'll say sorry for that too, Colin. With all my heart, I'll say sorry. Just stop running away from me like some fool of a moody schoolchild.
This is like the transcript of our text interactions every weekend, Seth.
You didn't do anything to me.
Well, that's what I was thinking, like.
Then he says,
I just don't like you no more.
I just don't like you no more.
Ouch.
And this look on Colin Farrell's face, it's heartbreaking. Wonderful performance that I think deserves to be replaced with the Velociraptor. So,
yes.
Today I'll be doing the Raptors of Inisherin.
Which is great because we do need a St. Patrick's Day post on the
You do
the
like
tweet.
me.
And I just think it's so funny, the idea of this sweet Velociraptor, but this man no longer wanting to be friends with this poor Velociraptor
else.
who didn't do anything wrong.
Huh?
That is hard. Like we have found that the more weight the scene has, I think the more inherent absurdity comes from the raptorization.
It's usually
things.
it's a combination of like the more weight it has and and a theme of, like a character being made to be the other in some way. Tends to work really, really well. If there's a fish out of water character who everyone's talking about, because it's funny, the idea of someone talking about, like, West Side Story, they're talking about Baby Driver's character, but just talking about him as if, he's a character who doesn't fit the setting, and yet, but he's not he's a human being still. So the idea, it's like they're still underplaying that he's a raptor. It's like it's the totally false reaction. What's the word?
It's art, really, is what we're doing.
It's art. That's what it is. No, there's a term. I don't remember what it is. Proportional. Oh yeah, it's the disproportional reaction or response. The old fashioned is now talking, and I don't know if you can tell, but I talk a lot more after a little bit of something of this.
You talk more.
Somehow.
This should be exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, you can rewind to the.
What if Hashi gets mean?
There was a lot of alcohol in this jar. It turns out. My goodness.
Well, I think it was also the fact that there was nothing else in the jar, Hash.
Well, no, but I poured a whole can of Coke into it. Was the point?
Oh.
But I just wasn't aware.
It just slightly dilutes it. The amount of alcohol remains the same.
It brings caffeine into the scenario and more sugar too.
I thought the alcohol just burned off or whatever. That's what I was heard.
I mean, Coke does burn things off, but not that much. Speaking of Coke, cheers.
Cheers.
Michael's drinking cocaine from a gummy bear.
And if you are home and in a safe space and don't plan to travel with a vehicle, please feel free to join us on this exciting.
We'll make the show more fun
VFX
for you too.
Chill. Well, I am not entirely sure what I'm going to work on. I would be very happy to help you raptorize that scene or do some paint out kind of work. And I had so many. No, I didn't.
Well, what was that rainbow thing you had? That was really cool.
Oh, I can show you this. This is kind of fun. I wanted to make...
Is that Nyan Cat's Wake?
Pretty much. I wanted to make a first-person Rainbow Road situation. Where you're
You
just
need to talk
driving
about
along
how
this
that
cool
happened.
road. Trying to make it kind of video gamey and exciting. I'm trying to create a character that I can put here that is sort of like a character on a go-kart or something like that. I'm using the online version of Stable Diffusion right now, which is available at stablediffusionweb.com. And I was trying to do a velociraptor in a velociraptor in a go-kart from a video game sprite rear view. I think I had too many terms, but this is what it gave me. But maybe we could find something else. I mean, Yoshi looks a little bit like a velociraptor. Maybe I could find a sprite of Yoshi.
Yeah. Get Yoshi, but it's just from the Super Mario Brothers movie. So it's a photoreal, gunky looking dinosaur puppet.
That would be great.
And you're not referring to the animated movie about to come out. You're referring to...
I only ever am referring to the Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo,
there was
Dennis Hopper.
no one who could play a grizzled detective, pirate, and Mario like Bob Hoskins. I tell you what.
Nope.
We actually watched all of those, including Mermaids, one weekend last year when we were in transit between Los Angeles and Canada. We're just like, you know what this weekend needs is we need to turn up the Hoskins.
Oh my God. I don't have a turn up the Hoskins drop, but maybe that's what I
It
should
would
spend
always be appropriate.
the show doing. For those wondering what we're talking about, this is an utter masterpiece from 1993.
Oh,
The biggest dinosaur film of 1993, some say.
Some say.
I miss
think
these days
required
of
listening for this show is the How Did This Get Made episode on this.
Oh, it's so good. And
How did this get made?
There's also an amazing. I don't remember who wrote it up, but wrote up like a oral history of this movie, and talked about.
You should turn that into Velociraptor.
Yeah, this. Oh my God! Just like the. how
So
this movie
take what
became
you know
what it is.
about the Super Mario Brothers universe, and Super Mario Brothers is being made right now into an animated film, which is exciting. It was actually the last commercial offer that I had was to help them do the Act 3 fight in the Mario Brothers movie. I don't think I can say anything more than that
All right then.
because I know the setup of what's supposed to happen in this, but
Did you do it?
I liked you all too much. I decided I did VFX and chill instead.
I don't know if you made the right choice.
I don't know. Well, but I didn't know who was cast in the movie until after that. And so then based on the online reception, I felt happy with my choice for a while. But now that I'm seeing the trailers and it's amazingly animated and
Wow.
I know
The animation does look gorgeous.
I do know some things about it that I can't imply or anything about the third act that I'm excited to see what they did with it.
I do love to see here that clearly the graphics department. No one told them it was called Super Mario Brothers. So
You got to call it Super Mario. That's actually the IP that we registered.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, how about this? And then they just typed in super with the cursive font and put it over this. What I also love
So a little bit of history on the Super Mario Brothers. They say Mario in the movie, right?
I believe he says Mario.
Which would be the way you would say it if you were
Italian.
Sicilian
a
Italian,
plumber
right?
Yeah.
from
It's Mario. In actual, like I remember,
Don't listen to my opinions on any of this, by the way.
I had a disagreement as a child with people about how it should be pronounced, and so we called up a pizza shop next to where I grew up.
Hey, that's
in
using
New York
your resources.
to
This is
talk to
pre-internet,
some
everybody.
Italians about how you said it.
Wow.
It should be Mario, but sadly,
We're walking on thin ice on this episode. I feel like we are just dancing around cultural stereotypical landmines in this episode. We've gone from St. Patrick
beyond
chasing the
St. Patrick's
dinosaurs
Day.
out of Ireland to now Michael calling a pizza place to hear from authentic Italians in
I was a
Kentucky.
kid.
These are bad examples of the way to
Don't
learn about the world.
don't-
Imagine if you
we-
didn't have Yeah, imagine if you didn't have the resources that people have today.
We could talk to people all over the world right now. We've got people in the chat from Mexico and Ireland and India and everywhere. Anyone else in the chat want to drop where you're from and watching from?
Please let us know.
Cool.
We can put a pin in our big board of listener pins. Seth, you've been on top of that, right? I just mentioned that.
Yep.
Speaking of the chat, Nick Smith says it would be great to do the scene where Barry is confessing his love and we see he's talking to a raptor. Dave Ebe says your demo with the 2-screen lighting the action figures last week was very inspiring. Going to try lighting a miniature set like that. Nice. Someone, Oystein Ramjer Holton is watching this on a separate monitor while abusing Supercom for the evening. Love it. Supercom is one of my favorite tools to play with. Visual paralysis is how would a skateboarder who has cosmic powers surfing on the rainbow. Speaking of the rainbow, if you want
look at that still. That's right out of our universe.
It is right out of our universe.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Speaking of Hashi's Rainbow Road, if you too want to create a 16-bit retro video game look, check out the VFX side quest Hashi made. Link is in the chat. Frigby Chillweather wants to know, have we seen the SNL Mario Kart thing with Pedro Pascal? I have.
Oh, that friggin' rules. Our friend did that.
Mike Diva.
Yeah, Mike Diva did that. And
they had...
Oh, it's so good.
They had a week to pre-pro that, and I think like a day to shoot it. But yeah, follow Mike Diva on Twitter to learn about it.
Mike Diva is nuts. I've loved his work for years, and it's like he just shows up in all these in so many comedy specials with just no. Oh, here you go. You're welcome, Liberty.
Free ad,
my least favorite ads in the world. I'm not going to play the audio. I don't want to get in trouble, but God,
it's such a good trailer. It's such a good trailer.
It really is.
Fake trailer.
This would be like if we had access to celebrities to make our movies, and we unfortunately just didn't hit it off well with Pedro last week, and
this looks like they used a light wrap real heavy in Super Comp.
But you can use it heavy and well. The shots I want to see are these where are they? We got these killer
Or just, if you haven't seen it, y'all, just watch it. It's so good. We've got people checking in the chat. London, India, Detroit, Norway, Seattle, Indonesia, Ireland. Oh, a second person from Ireland. Micronesia, British Columbia, Canada, Vancouver, BC, Canada, Huntsville, Alabama, and Orlando. I'm quite intrigued by the fact that people from not America are just listing the country they're from. People from America not listing the country, just telling you the city or state.
I'm from the country of Orlando. Sorry, and,
Jason. Justin Leduc from Narnia. Hello, and thanks for coming out of the closet. St. Louis and Oakland in the house as well.
Welcome, everybody. That is fantastic.
Fantastic.
I do love hearing where people are from. It is exciting.
All right, I've done my scene edit detection.
Scene edit detection.
But I think I'm going to go ahead and do a slight re-edit here in After Effects, like some kind of animal.
No, Seth, you have many talents.
I do.
Director of VFX, compositor, vocal acrobatist. But
that's if we could cut to a shot of an acrobat falling downstairs right then, it would be the perfect visual for that.
And if you needed someone to simulate the sound of an acrobat falling down the stairs, Seth could do it perfectly. Like you wouldn't even need to know the context. You would hear the sound and say, "Is that an acrobat falling down the stairs?"
That's Seth Worley?
But yeah, Seth Worley is a very good editor, which I'm putting you on the spot for to do live in front of an audience. But
yeah, to improve upon Banshees of Inisherin, and
like me.
So I'm thinking he just.
I don't.
Let's see. Oh, this didn't catch a few cuts somehow.
So scene edit detection is a feature that's been available in Premiere for a while, and it's now available in After Effects, which is phenomenal. You can right-click on a clip and say scene edit detection, and it will divide any long clip into a bunch of small clips, and it can do this in several ways. You can either split the layer up with its start-end times, or it can do what Seth did here, which is create pre-comps for each one of them, which is amazing for a VFX reel when you don't have if you're making an episode of VFX and Chill, it's perfect.
It is.
Seth, you let me know if that
couple
stuff is all
cuts.
on the network, and I'd be happy to help you. Because you did mention a gag before the show that you want to incorporate in this.
Yeah,
and I would be happy to find out if there's any way that I can assist.
I'm going to give it away here. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut this to where he says, "I just don't like you no more," and then we get that long. Let's see.
I just don't like you no more.
And then you talked about the raptor, the raptor kind of like maybe looking down, like and then looking up, and then I think the raptor should just raise a gun and shoot. Because here's the thought process. Guns aren't funny unless raptors are using them.
Yeah, like there's been a long history on VFX and chill, and I don't know how much of it has made it to the show, but in our conversations about velociraptors, we love that they're being forced into these human situations where a velociraptor shouldn't be contained. And so they have a violent tendency that's going to come out. And like, why would you threaten or taunt a velociraptor? But
we love the idea
Seth,
that
this is your guns.
love the idea that there's never ever animalistic violence. It's always just pulling a gun out and shooting. Like, we love the idea that you expect a raptor to at any point maul the person. Like, the scene's going to end with mauling.
You can pull up our Lord of the Rings
Yes.
one or something like that.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Sound ability.
Twitter.
Pretty sure it's in let's see, it's in our Raptor renders folder.
I'm just going to play it straight from the internet, from the
internet. Bam.
Here we go.
No man can kill me.
Sorry, children.
It's so stupid.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert. The raptor
for
shoots
Lord
the
of the
guy.
Rings, Return of the King.
Oh, man. Yeah. I was waiting to binge them.
Until all of it was out.
Till all of it's out.
Rings of Power, Silmarillion.
So-
People checking in from Bangladesh, Virginia, Toronto, Canada. Axon Media Seattle says they're from Seattle, but soon moving to LA. They're soon moving to LA, which problem. France. Blend that film from England's green pastures, 15 minutes away from where Shakespeare was born. Hey, I used to live in Devon, which is also green pastury England. Gainesville. And someone says you should raptorize the goat. Andrew Kramer? Oh, they're the donkey. They want you to raptorize the donkey.
They want us to raptorize Andrew Kramer?
Well, they said the goat. I didn't know
Andrew
who they
Kramer
meant at
wants
first.
us to raptorize. I couldn't find a freaking clip of the goat line. I looked everywhere. That's like, and I feel like that line is talked about, referenced everywhere, but I could not find a clip of that scene.
Couldn't find the goat line. If you find a high quality
The donkeys, my bad. The donkey.
version of the donkey line,
I'll link it
and then
in
we
the
can
chat.
cut
Oh, wait, you can't.
to Lex saying, "What happened to the donkey?"
Actually,
Or,
it'd be very sad. So let's
Or that
see.
the little harness coming out of the raptor pen falling apart. I'm sorry about your goat, your donkey.
Okay, these are not. I'm gonna number. God, do I inflict order here, or do I just give you this plate?
Good question. Are you pre-rendering the plate somewhere?
Yeah, I'm about to for you, and so I'm thinking.
That sounds
I
good.
send you that, and then timing wise, I can leave it up to you. Are you gonna just do the arm, or while I do the raptor?
Yeah, I'll do the arm.
Okay.
Because I do have that same gun from the Lord of the Rings one, which I don't know if you can. Let me see. I can probably pull that one up. Let me pull it up in After Effects.
I didn't know you filmed yourself with that. Oh, or is it 3D?
No, I didn't. That was digital, actually. And I think that I will do this one digitally.
I did film myself going down, sliding downstairs,
Michael, do
shooting
you
a gun for the
Hashi, do we
getting
have that
started with.
somewhere quickly pulled up to be able to show
To show what?
Michael sliding down the stairs from his
Oh my gosh.
his home videos?
I can get
For my getting started with bang tutorial, I just literally
It's the only
slid
way to get
downstairs
started.
on my back with a gun, a toy gun. Obviously, not a real gun. That would be silly.
Obviously.
That would be so silly.
It was definitely a toy gun, and definitely not a real gun that I have in my
don't drink
bedside.
during work hours and fire real guns as you slide down the stairs backwards.
Screaming,
Just throwing it out there, everybody.
Out Jogging Pictures is asking, should a VFX reel be more focused on the final product or how it was made? They say they find enough examples to make a reel, but not sure what should be in it. I say it depends on the VFX shot. Like if it's clear what you added, sure. But like a lot of the visual effects work in Hollywood right now is invisible VFX, like adding set extensions, adding some rain, that sort of stuff.
Because your product is that
adding
image,
invisible
that
people.
moving image on screen. So how you got there, I don't know.
I mean,
there are so many ways to get there.
Yeah, if you did all the parts of a shot and it's really clear that it is a visual effects shot, then you could probably just leave it as is. But for stuff where you really want to show like a lot of the work you put into a shot, or if it's not really easy to tell what was you, like because like if you're doing a set extension or fixing something in a shot, then you should probably do some wipe kind of stuff to show what you've done. Like it just depends. And Brian Smith is asking, have you done a Mary Poppins but with raptors? I think that the fact that Hashi actually worked on the Mary Poppins movie might bring some legal issues if we did that.
I think that I can't. All right. I think if you switch to my screen, I might be able to find the irrelevant clip. Oh, look at this.
Sorry, I was going to pull this up. I saw in the chat they asked if we had done a Mary Poppins one, and I think this is where I did that stupid Mary Poppins gag. Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
At the end. Very stupid way to end a tutorial.
So well done. I do remember you sending that to me with a feeling that Seth and I both get, and I hope that you get to experience this feeling someday, where it is somehow a perfect mix of being proud of something and ashamed and called out for having
ashamed of the time management skills that lack of that it took to make it happen.
Though that was one of my tweets this week that people liked was that like when they say, wait, how long did you spend on this? They're really saying, I love you.
And you know what? It's true. And when they're saying you are so like that, you're really good at something, they don't realize they're saying you spend a very unhealthy amount of time doing something is what they're
like.
really
wow, not for me. Thank goodness. We feel safe here. Let's never visit them again.
Never visit them again.
Though though just a little idea for you all. I threw the first dinner party kind of thing that we've thrown since, I don't know, like in March a couple of years ago for some reason. And the one of the things that I was sad about not getting in there is that I wanted to make these little takeaway cards at the end to give to people that would say messages like, you talked just the perfect amount, or you were, we appreciate basically all I don't know where I'm going with this.
I love it.
But anytime you leave an event, make sure that you let all of your friends or anyone who went with you that they talked the perfect amount.
In the chat, Christopher Vrano says, how long did the three of you guys spend on this? Which is very sweet. Thank you.
Wait, on what were we showing at the time that the comment was made?
No, they just meant to say that they love us.
Oh,
we love you.
See, I've forgotten my analogy from 45 seconds ago. So
I
here we
recognize the
have, in case you're ever curious to use the amazing plugin called Bang, look, it creates 3D muzzle flares and muzzle flashes, and look at this amazing
Michael
stunt work.
Creates this.
This was filmed just for this Getting Started series. I mean, Red Giant went all out to find this performer.
You look in pain, just a little bit. Like, I can't tell what the image is on your face, if you're trying not to laugh or if you're in pain.
Well, let me see if I can switch this playback speed to a quarter, I think. Here we got. That's pretty amazing.
I mean, it's pain. I'm falling downstairs on my back.
And you too can learn more directly from Michael about using VFX.
No, the whole point of that shot was that you could use an obscuring layer to obscure the bang shot, and the glow would still wrap around that obscuring layer for very quick stuff.
That is a
Bang
good
Bang
point.
is
Because look
great.
at that.
Yeah, see?
The flash shows up and wraps out and
Mhm.
around this foreground,
Yeah, it didn't
which
have a
is
really
great.
good
And it's
stock
something that
shot.
when people forget, you can notice. You can just tell if
If it's just glowing around the gun, but the glow is also blocked by the banister railing things, then it would be much worse of a shot. Not that this shot is any good in the first place.
precisely.
Nick Smith says they used Bang for the first time this week, and this tutorial was very helpful. I'm glad to hear that.
All right. Well, let me get myself organized over here. What else do I have open? All right. No, I don't need that. And,
no one needs that.
Nobody needs that.
Let's see. We got. All right, Seth. Let me know how we're doing on our plate prep.
Oh, it's
In the
there.
meantime,
Sorry, it's in the elements
I can
folder.
explain this
It's in the elements folder if you need it.
trap code driving situation. Let's see if
I
Stable
was really
Diffusion
curious how you
decided.
built
Oh,
that.
it gave us an error.
Hey, Hash, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, show the rainbow thing, but then know that plate's in the elements folder whenever you want it.
Oh, thank you. So I decided to make this. I love Trapcode Particular, and one of the cool things about it is that you can make custom sprites for it. So I made this custom sprite, which is, let's see, what is it? A 512 by 18 tall sprite of a lovely rainbow. And I made that because let me see if, what would be the best way to find this? Today I did repost some old videos that I had made. Where's my profile? So one was this shot, which was a lovely morning in my old home. Here's my ET neighborhood. This is where the van chase from ET takes place. So here's a lovely photorealish lens flare, and it's St. Patrick's Day themed. Look at Sophia discovering with superhuman strength picking up a pot of gold. It weighs 760 pounds.
I mean, she was a strong kid.
I don't know. Still strong. That fire still burns within Sophia. Look at that. Oh, and everyone was like, what the heck is that? And that is one of those cool bubble wands that you can get that is full of glitter.
And you can break.
You can break. They will break or leak over time. And in fact, they look an awful lot like this when they're made. And
oh my God, she's adorable.
You know, like if you were born a wizard or witch. So anyway, these are some visual effect shots in which creating some rainbows was important. And so I was curious about exploring what kind of 3D rainbows you could make using one of the filters that we make called Trapcode Killer. Look at that. So wholesome. My goodness. That guy should be successful in like 2014. And
if only he had a YouTube channel about his action movie kids.
that would be a good idea. So here I decided that I kind of wanted to see where you could take it with Trapcode Particular. So I created this sprite, which is this long, skinny sprite. And then I created this relatively small comp because I wanted to simulate an old, maybe, Mario Kart, since we're sort of talking about Mario today, themed emitter. So if I switch to this other camera, I can show you what I've created here, which is basically I have Trapcode emitting that sprite that I created, and it's emitting it and sending it off into the distance. The emitter is sort of at these nice wiggle expressions, turning up, down, left, or right as it shoots this track out into the background. And then if I take this whole comp and run it backwards, the camera is parented to the emitter. And the emitter, if you don't know in particular, you can just go into the emitter system and click on Create Null. And you have a great reference object for where your particles are coming from. So if you had a layer that was moving around the screen in 3D, you can create a null and link it right to it. In this case, I did something almost the opposite, where I linked the camera to this null. And the point of that was to make it so you had a null that was pretty much always right here with the emitter, and where the emitter was shooting the particles off into the distance would look like variations in the track. So now if I run this this video, as you can see, is a bunch of particles shooting away. Well, let me switch to my camera view. Shooting away from camera and then disappearing. If you reverse that whole piece of footage, you get this. And I should probably switch. I just lost my RAM preview on it. Sorry, everyone.
So cool, though.
But here it looks like when you see bits of this, it looks like you driving along this little road, Mario Kart style, on specifically Rainbow Road from Mario.
So I think if you take that, mess with the sprites a little bit, make them smaller, maybe use some I think you could get that looking like the current like Rainbow Road, where it's like super glowy in space. Like we could. That's actually we could make that look unbelievably badass. I don't want to right now, but we could.
Yeah, and like rainbows are only very tangentially related. I actually do not know why rainbows were associated with leprechauns and St. Patrick's and stuff.
Yeah, this isn't VFX and no. This is VFX and chill.
Yeah, we're chilling, everybody. What did you expect to come here and do? It's in the title of the thing.
We don't know anything.
All right, but in the meantime, I do have plates somewhere, right?
We do.
Oh my goodness, I forgot that I was going to make a custom intro for the show today.
Oh, you were? Were you going to do the colorblind one, or?
Oh, that was one. Yeah, one potential joke was I was going to do an intro that was like a disgusting blood red, and then explain that
I think the way we would have
it to be.
The way we would have set it up is somehow have like a title at the beginning that says like, in honor of do not adjust your screen. In honor of St. Patrick's Day, we have Hashi has made the entire intro green, and then right before you cut to it, it says Hashi is also colorblind, and then you cut to the blood red version.
So at one point, yeah, the intro was going to be. These are obviously some AI generated imagery of leprechauns and velociraptors. Some of them were a little more Cronenberg than I expected. I need another name to throw in there than just Cronenberg, because I don't mean to.
He is unparalleled.
It's true, but we did get some interesting results. Like, ugh.
Oh my gosh!
Like they're fun. Like the first impression you get is fun. Leprechaun. Like there. Here we go. It's fine. It's fine. Don't think about anything for too long. This one is not AI. This one is by an artist named Mr. Tree. But that's pretty fantastic. Oh, let me slide it down here below our sticker here. So yeah, that is lovely. This one I thought was kind of cool. I thought I might make like a Lucky Charms box that was, raptor themed. And here are some more where I feel like I really thought that leprechauns were little miniature things. I don't know. I wasn't in love with any of these, but I did want to, use them maybe as a jumping off point for a custom.
Have 5 fingers.
Intro.
Real quick, I love highlighting.
Oh my gosh, you're using the thing.
It's so fun to watch at a good GeoTracker track. It follows people like heads really, really well. And it's just real fun to look at it.
That is exceptional. And Keen Tools was retweeting us last week for our use of this plugin GeoTracker. It's a lot of fun.
Tools.
Okay, I'm going to start a new project. You can say on your screen, unless people need another second to savor these raptors. But I'm going to create a new scene, and in here. Oh, by the way, one of the things that I did, which is just a little After Effects workflow thing, is last week we were talking about how Trapcode Particular is such a fun plugin to use, but it takes a long time the first time you apply it to a project. And so if you make your default project in After Effects something that contains somewhere a layer with particular in it, it means that that project file has all the index locations for every property saved already, and it just loads the project that way. And Trapcode will start immediately for you. So check that out.
Well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to save this into our working folder. And in case you're new to us raptorizing things, you obviously saw a bunch of the clips at the top of the show. If you missed them, please follow Butt with Raptors and check out really our passion project, our art, our reason for being the Butt with Raptors spin-off social channel. That is all about replacing people with velociraptors. But we do it for a point. We do it to explain visual effects to you because there are several kind of reliable steps that happen each time around. So in this case, one of the things that we have going on is we need to... I love trying to sound intelligent during this process. Because we try so hard to be an educational show, and certainly you've all learned something here.
This just doesn't get old ever. I love that this raptor is a little inebriated.
Well, that's the theme of the day, to be a little inebriated. Because all cultures should be able to have inebriation associated with them and their holiday.
We still need to solve this problem we have. We can track ahead, but the neck needs to stay stationary. Only thing I can think of is is there a way to get this GeoTracker null that it spits out? Michael,
can't you export a 3D model from it?
Michael, you're smart. Is there a way to get? Oh wait, you can, can't you? I was talking about getting that null into Cinema, so then we could use that to animate the raptor head.
It's true. And in fact, let me see, I could also probably pull up this footage while I'm procrastinating helping you, would be, let me see if I can dive into our Raptors folder.
I'm going to lower the desk.
Somewhere in here I have, let's see, is it in a separate folder? When Harry Met Sally. I have been working on a little scene from the movie When Harry Met Sally. And what is important for this scene is that I have the true geometry
I didn't
because
see it until then. I was looking at us and then I looked up. My God, the lighting on it is perfect. Hashi, this is so good.
Now, what I like to use After Effects, what I like to use But with Raptors for is as a way to learn.
Yes, a way to learn.
How would you tackle something like this? How would you tackle, and again, children, I'm very sorry.
Shield your eyes.
A lovely scene where a beautiful performance of
hey, we're raptor
Meg
positive.
Ryan
We're raptor positive. And
really
sex positive
enjoying
on the show.
her food.
Yeah.
And so I decided to use this opportunity to try to learn how to simulate error like that. But the problem is the dynamics. It's really important that the moving object is in Cinema 4D, so you can have simulated hair physics. And believe me, in the clip there are simulated hair physics. I might not share the original clip. It's probably irrelevant. But my process then, before I knew about GeoTracker, was literally creating this custom Snapchat filter that, let's see. Here, this is my custom Snapchat filter, which places this little card in front of somebody's face so that it can be nicely tracked in After Effects.
This is a whole Twitter account where we make this card a character and it just gets grizzled and we start comping it into the shot and we give it sunglasses and oh
my gosh,
splatter blood on it.
I think our goal is just to create a new But with Twitter account every episode. All right, so I'm gonna let me clear this out.
Can I one more time see that Meg Raptor going full Kermit?
Just one more time.
When she goes full Kermit, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen because it's so
I love a good hair sim.
Just before the show, speaking of Not Easy Being Green, we were speaking about Kermit the Frog, and we have found that the more animation takes place during one of these, but with Raptor shots, let me find the two that I think are the most like it. I think the Doctor Who one and Citizen Kane really show this off. But Citizen Kane here, and what did I say? I said two things and I forgot the other one. Doctor Who starts with a D. These both may have the most animation at the time that I had done for A Butt with Raptors. And look at this, 1941. Cinema like no one had seen before.
That's my favorite one you've done.
Did you?
So impressive.
How did I want to know how you integrated this so well into the shot? Did you use Universe Misfire to add grunge to the original plate, and then thus the grunge matched up on the Raptor better?
It was actually Universe Retrograde.
Retrograde.
So one of the
secret.
things that I do often
grunge
when
on
doing
top of
a
grunge
shot like this is I will create using either Topaz or denoiser plus Topaz. Topaz is a image restoration software, and I will create a super sharp or higher definition version of something like this. In fact, I wonder if I have the original file. But anyway, Citizen Kane, many of the copies that we had seen growing up were on VHS tape and a little bit degraded and have a lot of film grain. And so when I captured this, I did a process to make this very sharp so I could do all of the compositing work in a sharper setting. Let me see if I saved that. I may have, may not have. Just today I was telling Seth how unfocused I was today, and I hope that it's paying off.
And the day before, and the day before.
And the day before, like every other day.
None of us in this VFX and Chill crew have ADHD at all.
Nope.
Not a one of us.
And,
or if we did,
yeah.
I wasn't listening when you mentioned it.
I was literally about to sing about our ADHD medication, but I'll save it for another day.
Well, I don't have any yet. I've not been officially diagnosed with it, so I mean, I definitely have it. My spouse tells me, but.
Oh, buddy,
you
got it.
Oh, I don't remember what I did this one for. This is somehow the stabilized version where I'm keeping the podium the same size the whole time, so it becomes a...
oh, nice. Becomes a dolly zoom.
Oh, man, I forgot the original shot that I wanted to do was Citizen Kane trashing a room. But it was too hard from the animation perspective. So, where's the Kane moment? Okay. So basically, you can take a clip like this, which is clean, like cleaner and a little bit sharper with film grain removed, and then I'm taking that and making it look more the way you've seen it on VHS tapes and things like that, adding some grain and diffusion back into it and the grain on top, which I love doing.
Speaking of adding this stuff onto things, there's a tutorial coming out Monday, which if you're clever, you might be able to find already on the Red Giant YouTube channel. But coming out Monday, we are doing a synthwave thing where we use Universe tools to make a clean graphic look old school, like it was shot on film and then transferred to VHS.
Which is very, very important. It's good to know what the... Okay, so here's probably the most Kermity.
the when you do the bird motions with the head, like it's when it looks so good. Like
that's I think Seth that you did this first in maybe Scream or something where you did one of
replacing
these.
Matthew Lillard with
Dang
Scream.
It, that is so funny.
There's the whole moment of Matthew Lillard in Scream where Neve Campbell runs into him and thinks he's a good guy, and then he pulls up the voice recorder and says, and scream. I have him scream into it, and it's like all this time for her to like, it's a raptor. That's definitely a bad guy, but he's doing nothing for so long in it. It's like, I think I accidentally discovered like the quick jerky movement of him looking around and how funny it was.
It's so funny.
So there's two screams. There's that one and it's the second one.
So I don't even know if this counts as spoiler alerts for Scream because technically
you could be anybody.
Yeah. So, I'm not sharing audio. So
Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
Flipped out. He's gone mad.
Oh, no. F.
So here might have been our first iteration of.
Oh yeah.
Raptors are violent,
funny,
but not with their person.
It's such a funny thing. The chat, I should say, I need to bring some more of the chat into the thing. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Oystein Ramjor Holton says that we are the chaotic good of the VFX world. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
They also say that ADHD plus After Effects equals missing dinner time by about 5 hours.
Oh, our wives aren't laughing. Our husbands aren't laughing.
Ennio White Black says, can you please replace Christopher Lloyd's head with the raptor head in the scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Remember me, Eddie? When I killed your brother, I talked just like this.
Ooh, we considered that one last week with Mando.
Oh my gosh. There's a whole reveal of Doom. You could totally do that.
You could. What I love about it is that I think the way it's staged, like he turns around and then turns back, so it's a very
yeah, he's like, well, he inflates his head and then turns. So it's like, I don't know what the
yeah. I mean, in the meantime, if you're missing Christopher Lloyd as a Velociraptor, this is what I can offer you in the meantime.
Did that one on the show live. Got to do a motion version of that one.
That one is pretty amazing.
That looks so good as a still.
Let me pull up our A and B of this because this was
this was one of the first times we learned that
I'm going to put them in a comp because I want to be able to flip really quickly back and forth between them because
this is where we learned that the raptors, the size of her head can't make some of these really hard. And so this was one where it was like, which one do we do? Is that one funnier or?
Because look, if the face is this close, it can't intersect. So
that one I think is funnier for some reason.
Oh yeah, that one is funnier.
I think this is what was posted. So just and also note from the VFX perspective, look at the interactive lighting on Christopher Lloyd's face here.
Nice.
It's so great. This should be a GIF. This should be a 2-framed GIF, honestly. I think that actually, you know what? I feel like we've got to do that now.
You need a part 3. That's where they're in cowboy hats.
Yes.
No, where his head is gone.
Excellent. Yeah, these are from a pretty decent movie series. If you have not seen it, younger viewers.
Only my very favorite. Let's see.
So good.
The movie series that made Seth who he is today.
I am thinking, speaking of who I am today, I'm replacing Colin Farrell in this prestigious film with a raptor head, and I'm thinking I was doing my standard roto, garbage, but now I'm thinking I should just take a flat still of his chest and cut out what needs to be cut out, and then just track it to his chest.
Oh, it sounds like a good idea, Seth, but I've been down this road before.
It works too much.
If they have something like a bow tie, then you can pin the bow tie on there and use some garbage roto brush and then put the bow tie back on there with tracking. But what you're going to have trouble with is all the amount of warp on the edges there.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is, what if I isolate? Okay, there's a couple ways. I could geotrack the surface of his chest.
Mm-hmm. Who hasn't wanted to geotrack Colin Farrell's chest?
Let's do it live. I'm going to geotrack the surface of Colin Farrell's chest. Let's get rid of roto brush.
I think that's one of the default shapes in GeoTracker.
Colin
You have sphere, torus, rectangle, head, Colin Farrell's chest, and cube.
We're going to need a GeoTracker drop here in a second.
Oh man, we're gonna need a what?
We're going to need a drop for GeoTracker. We've got one for tracking. We've got one for roto brushing. We've got one for freezing.
Oh, do you mean this one?
Freeze.
I do.
Yes.
That might have been the very first drop we made for the show.
100%. You know why? I did a tutorial long ago. I used to when I used to do tutorials regularly, people who might have seen my early tutorials may know that I would drop very stupid jokes into them, much like we all do now. Not original.
It is literally why I wanted to meet you as another human that existed somewhere. Like that you were a human on the internet. I was like, this guy's tutorials are dialed in, man. These are funny.
We don't have a love drop. Yes, we do. So, thank you, buddy. So what was I talking about? One of those jokes was...
Mr. Freeze?
Yes. Every time I would talk about freezing Rotobush, I would say freeze, and I wanted to cut to one of, like, there's a supercut out there somewhere of every time Arnold Schwarzenegger says the word freeze. And it's one of the funniest things that's ever been made by humanity. And I would just cut to a random freeze every time. And these are the early days when we were scared of, we didn't understand if copyright would kill us and take our company down. So Aaron Rabinowitz made me remove all of them. So to Aaron Rabinowitz.
I did love the Slack interaction, which was seeing those being batted down and like, it's like, just leave them in. And then at some point, I don't remember. Like, I think that it was right before Kramer released the Star Wars one or something like that had a video copilot was used in there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
humongous sections of highly copyrighted and protected material.
Speaking of highly copyrighted. Oh no, it's not playing.
Colin Farrell's chest.
Colin Farrell.
It's insured for $2.1 million.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I forgot that I did this.
So Seth, I'm just to quickly get an idea. Like, I've totally been on top of this during the show, but I did import your project, and it's the pre-comps in there that need stuff, right? And it's pre-comp 5 will be probably the gun shot.
I exported a render. That's
okay.
That's in the elements folder.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sorry, bud.
We have a shared Dropbox folder with the same password as our Raptors folder. That's just a joke. I'm joking about being loose with passwords because it was not our fault that we got hacked.
It was not our fault. You know, it is our fault that I didn't use this last week. Damn it. Why isn't it working? Oh. Never mind. Can't get this thing to work. Oh, that's why. There it is. Turn off. Oh no, it won't turn off.
All right.
I just now realized how good, the bad, and the ugly that sound is.
Oh,
It's so great.
wait,
I think
do you
that-
mean... Turn off. Oh my gosh.
Didn't Roberto Rodriguez add the guitar feedback note on there?
Oh, did he? That's,
Like
I think
for
that
his
naturally
episode.
happens wherever he is. I think if he enters a room, guitar feedback begins.
It does.
I mean, yes. So
Speaking of which, if you've never seen the DVD extra features for Once Upon a Time in Mexico,
oh, so good.
The-
Such a good film.
what is? I can't remember. It's called like not No Film School. What is?
Oh yeah, it's like $1 film school or something like that. It's
a very good. Between that and the DV Rebels Guide, I feel like those are both
and his book,
very good ways.
Rebel Without a Film Crew is also Robert Rodriguez's book, which is
Yes.
required reading.
So if you ever find yourself in like 1996, 2001 kind of era, and want to stay on top of this,
you absolutely
to meet your
do.
heroes in the future, do those.
I forgot all about Once Upon a Time in Mexico until you just said it. It's such a
My
good movie.
goodness. A lot of really approachable effects. We should Let's see if Roberto wants to do the show. He's got to, right?
Robert Rodriguez. I'm sorry I
What
made
did I
that
say?
comment
Yeah.
about guitar
Yeah, if
feedback
someone knows in the
following
chat,
you
right?
into a room. I won't make any more jokes about it. Will you please bring your guitar feedback body self into our show? We would
Please
love
do.
to talk to you.
See what else we've done.
You've made so many good movies. We want to talk to you about them.
We do. I'll reach out to
We know a couple people. who
Guillermo
know
and see if he can put us in touch with Roberto.
What was I doing? Colin Farrell's chest. That's what I was doing. Let's see.
Colin Farrell's chest. It's in the drop down right there.
Let's go back to the comp. I could just pull in like a bust 3D, but why would I do that? Excuse me. When I can instead track.
I think a plane is good, or since you can adjust the size, maybe a cylinder would work, or a cube.
I have bad luck with cylinders.
You really just need that planar info, right?
So let's see. Hey, it's me, Colin Farrell. Got a chest. Let's see what.
You're like,
he sings that all the time.
That was great, Colin. Could we get one more without your self-produced theme song on your
got
chest?
A chest.
Those two little red dots right there, just
it's normal.
chilling. That's where my chest red dots are.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Wall-eyed.
So now, weird rotation stuff happens. So this might not work.
Ooh. Is that drink interfering with it?
I don't know, but you know what I am going to try? It's so dumb. But I'm going to... We have a... Where would I find it? I think it's a Cinema 4D file, so I need to open up.
All right. In the meantime, if you want to switch
Trap
to
code.
me, I'm going to show you basically another shot that I put together that is going to use the same technique. This is from the Game of Thrones finale. It was not a very loved finale, and that was mostly because they were very surprised that Daenerys had been, sitting on a revolver, a modern firearm. It really betrayed the. No, this is a bad joke in whatever tutorial was released after September 10th, 2019.
Probably your dragon stuff.
Gosh, have I been? Gosh, those were so long ago. But obviously, what had to happen here is that the other arm is at her side here. What can I think of her name? Camilla.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. I did it. But she has her arm at her side, but I needed to replace the whole arm holding a gun and the end there. Same as somewhere, I think I actually have it saved in here. Where is our Raptor assets? It's so disappointing to not have the rest of our archive of, but with Raptor stuff posted.
Very disappointing.
Because what did I call
if
this?
anyone knows the hacker, let them know that we and their mom are very disappointed in them.
So disappointed. Return of the King. What would I have called it? Oh, I thought it was right there. Sorry, everyone.
King Michael in the chat says that hand is fake. Oh, really?
What?
You're fake, King Michael.
How did you know?
Not the gun, though. Just the hand.
Let me see if it's one of these. Not that one. This one? No. I'll find it. Darn it. Oh, here it is. I'd made a quick little making of this shot, which was just a quick couple of... I took this background, had to erase these characters, do some fancy footwork there to try to replace them. Took this clip of Eowyn. I don't want my nerd street cred to get revoked. Animated this raptor here in Cinema 4D to line up with this moment. And then, look at this. We've got this Cinema 4D animated gun with the... look at that. that replace the whole glove and hand situation. So I'm basically doing that, but with the whole arm in this shot that I'm going to attempt now, that we have like 2 minutes left on the show, probably.
Oh, no, do we? Oh, it's
43.
No. What are we doing?
43 minutes. 43 minutes.
Hey, look at that. So it's 3:17 on 3:17 for me in the Atlantic time zone. I realize that wouldn't apply to other global watchers here.
But everybody on that island you live on, perfect.
But everyone here on this island, I live on an island because I don't like people just dropping by.
But you live on an island of friendly people who just drop by.
It's true, but it's only friendly people. Okay, so Colin Farrell's got. I would kind of love to make it. Yeah, it's got to be this arm, right? That suddenly pulls up the gun and points it right at screen. So that glass is going to make that fun. Which I kind of like, actually. One of my favorite things, and it's suggested in a bunch of visual effect tutorials, some that I've made, some that others have made, is to, if you can have an object in the foreground during your shot, it's great. It really does add a lot. And in fact, what I'm going to do, now that you mention it, Michael, is I'm going to find the frame where this glass is the most keyable. Look at that. It's even in front of some green grass. But not. I was gonna make a Paul Greengrass joke. There's no good.
There's no good Paul Greengrass jokes.
There really
I
aren't.
don't have any here on the board.
But what's nice about I love details like this because it means that when I add my CG arm, I'll put this back. I'll use a little bit of like diffraction, refraction to refraction is what I mean, not diffraction, and
refraction
cover up this arm, which will be so much fun. All right, Seth, you're welcome to show what you're doing in the meantime.
Well,
I'm just going to go into Cinema 4D and start hunting for arms in a suit.
The lengths you and I will go to not have to roto something is ridiculous. Like me, I'm going to chop
recreate
off
the entire scene completely digitally, so we have a mat.
I'm going to chop off this man's head.
I
While
did
you're doing
appreciate that last week when we were doing that, it had to do a lot with that we were rotoing shots that were clearly VFX plates, and we know they existed as plates, but we're having to recreate the plate out of the VFX work.
So stupid.
So dumb.
From the chat, Cone says, Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
To you! Drinks.
Goview. Oh, sorry, I'm not pronouncing your name right. It says hello from Kazakhstan. Hello. And Andrew Smith is asking, why did Hashi decide PEI?
Oh, so many reasons. No, honestly, we had a very long list, Mandy and I, about where we wanted to live in general, and they expanded all over the globe. One of the big factors was that we wanted to be able to drive back when we wanted to the States to visit our families in Michigan and things like that.
So you picked an island.
So we picked an island that had a bridge. It does have a bridge and a ferry, depending on which exit you choose. And I think we had an episode where we showed pictures of what this bridge looks like. It's like getting to drive on a roller coaster. So lots of fun. But yeah, we really fell in love with Charlottetown, the town, and wanted to live there. So if you find yourself here, drop on by. I'm not giving away where I live because like you're going to make it out.
Seth is currently using a feature in After Effects that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, is the ability to crank the exposure up or down inside your comp viewer without actually affecting anything. So
that sounds really handy. How do you
However,
do that, Seth?
Don't try to undo it, because undo does not affect it. It will just undo the work you've done.
Yeah. So, but there you go. You just
I wish there was a
left or
contrast.
right,
There's exposure, but I wish there was a contrast dial too.
Yeah, that would be handy.
All right, so let's do.
But it's very useful if you're wanting to make sure your stuff is sitting in the scene right with the right exposure, because sometimes it looks okay to you, then you crank it up and you're like, oh no, that does not look good.
It's a really great trick to do. It's worth, if you're ever compositing a VFX shot, to look at it in multiple exposures, especially if it's on a real project that's going to be color timed later. Look at it at like dark and overexposed and what you're delivering, because that might reveal that your black levels are actually off compared to your, color corrected view or something like that, which is really good to know ahead of time for your colorist. And secondly, it's worth, if you're composing a shot, to look at it in a thumbnail sized view, like a postage stamp sized image, because you should be able to understand what's happening in a frame if it's like the size of a postage stamp and a little bit blurry. If you can extract the info of what's happening in the scene from it, you have good layout. If you can't, you got too much stuff going on.
Frigby Chillweather says they believe the term is gamma slamming. Yes. Jason Murphy
Gamma
says they do
that.
They do that all the time and then forget and get scared when they see the shot at the real exposure.
Get scared.
I found my file. Oh, nuts. I forgot that this was in a gloved hand. I don't remember if this... I've so many times found a rigged hand to replace a hand for firing gun, but I don't have it in this case. Shucks.
There's rigged arms in the asset browser.
I'm going to have to do it.
I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I've kind of lost.
It goes silent like that. It's when the real work's happening.
I've kind of... I'm going to just be working on this the whole shot. Oh, it didn't help. The old-fashioned didn't help, guys. Don't drink and work.
One of my favorite early tutorials as I was getting into 3D was from someone who called themselves the Monkey. This was before Grayscale Gorilla. And he drank whiskey in his tutorials. And he taught me a lot.
It's true. If anyone wants to know anything about Seth or Michael, now's the time to ask in the chat.
Let's just see what happens here.
I was born at a very young age.
This is so stupid. He has a picture of himself.
That's amazing. It's like a weird third. He's his character from Dumbo is what he is right now.
So stupid.
For context, Colin Farrell is missing his arm in the movie Dumbo.
I don't think this is going to work.
It was worth a shot?
I think it was.
I feel like it was at least worth a listen to your two coworkers who were like, "Don't do that."
That was probably more worth.
But keep the point there. Keep the point there.
Yeah,
and one of the things you can do with GeoTracker is find that null. I actually don't know if you've burnt, like if you've, do you have two GeoTrackers going on in this comp, or did you make a separate comp?
I've got it here.
You got both? Okay. Never mind, you did it properly. I was going to say one of the things you can do if you want is grab the null that it's created, grab all of the expression keyframes and right-click and say convert expression to keyframes. And then you don't have to rely on the link anymore if you like the track.
Hey, buddy. Or you can just uncheck link right here before you export the null, and then it'll export it without the expression.
You thought about that, KeenTools.com?
Keen Tools was smart tools, and they knew tools, so they did.
We'll edit that out later.
Yeah. Or we'll edit a special clip to show people later, even though we don't work for Keen Tools.
The chat, I really want to know how to pronounce your name. GuView says you can add in the background a large rock in the form of an Oscar, which I think it would be a delightful idea.
First, I got to get this raptor in here.
What did they win the Oscar for? Because
they did,
Everything Everywhere All at Once won all of them, I thought.
They didn't win all of them. This won something. I'm sure it won something.
Man. And speaking of which, you should go revisit our Everywhere Everything All at Once, like full VFX crew episode of VFX and Chill. They did such phenomenal work on that. Work that was surely acknowledged by the Academy, right?
It really should have been. Go watch our show and then be with them and be like, and then realize they should have at least been nominated because His work is
At
exceptional.
least we have a Best Editing Oscar for Premiere now. And
Yeah, that's right.
And we really, really should have at least had a nom for After Effects. Give After Effects a nom. A little nom.
I mean, After Effects is used in so many feature films that they don't ever talk about it because no visual effects house wants to admit they use After Effects on something. They're always like, oh, it's flame and nuke everywhere, even though After Effects is used a lot. But Everything Everywhere All at Once famously used lots of After Effects in their pipeline. They also used Cinema 4D. They also used Blender. They also used Trapcode Particular. And
You said that
Trapcode
second one's so
Shine.
fast. The third one's so fast.
But no, if you want to see us chat with almost the entire VFX crew from Everything Everywhere All at Once, the link is in the chat.
Hashi and Michael, we should start a VFX company because the market is perfect for.
I mean, if you want that easy money,
yeah,
if you want a sure thing,
and excellent working conditions, we should start a VFX company and we should call it Practical Effects, just to confuse everyone.
Oh yeah, they use practical effects on this shot.
That is diabolically incredible.
Such a good idea.
Like
now,
we only use practical
Seth,
effects.
why do you say that?
I say that because we should just do it.
Good call.
What were you looking
right.
for, actually?
So what I'm doing over here, Seth, while you're doing some rotofreshing, is I am on the Mixamo.com. I'm looking up what pre-existing models might have a suit
God in heaven.
that works with this plate, and honestly, I don't know. It felt this one zombie feels reasonable. Let's see what other suited characters we have. We have.
But did you take your meds today?
I wasn't sure, so I just kept on taking them again.
Oh, good. You're supposed to do that. Good. Okay.
What have we got?
I didn't know if I took him, so I took him again.
By the way, days when I've done that have been some of my best days, the best days of my life.
It's a real possibility here, everyone.
This roto sucks.
And this one has, I don't know, this arm might be too slim.
Rotobrush, for all of its AI training, you wish it would AI train on your actual shot, because if you give it a stroke out the same spot every frame, you're like, come on, pick this up, man.
Yeah, I tweeted something.
Don't worry, that's
proud of.
The AI version of this is exists and hasn't been, what's the word?
Released?
This dude's eye
good.
makeup is awesome. I like white eyeliner.
I do too. I feel like not enough
men do that.
Wait,
it loaded finally. Boo.
I feel like in The Fifth Element, there were the plane attendants had white makeup or something like that.
Gooview is saying, why don't we invite Grandpa Andrew Kramer to the stream? We know him.
We do.
I think all of us know him in one form or another. We've all chatted with him or hung out with him on various occasions.
In case you're curious, that we all know the Kramer, and Seth hangs out with him on on all the weekends that he won't answer my texts. That
the answer is he's very busy doing work.
Busy. I actually like this arm the best.
I think it's a good arm.
It's a good arm. So we're going to grab this
skin
arm.
tone's a little off.
The skin tone is a little bit off, but we can compensate for that. We will in animations. Let's see, I don't remember if Mixamo has.
There's a lot of gun.
Nice.
There's a lot of gun animations.
I want just a nice pulls out the gun and confidently fires it.
I think it's in there somewhere. Just type pistol.
Here we go.
Perfect roto.
That's it.
Mixamo dance animations are still funny, everyone.
The best is when you have a giant monster doing it. Andrew Smith says the zombies of Inisherin, which was a joke I should have said earlier when you had the zombie up on the screen. Andrew Smith, one of my favorite competitors on the Great British Bake Off, although they spelled their surname differently.
God.
Okay, this one's really straightforward, but this shooting gun one, in case you're not familiar with the Mixamo.com, Mixamo.com is a collection of motion capture files that can be applied to FBXs of stock characters and characters that you upload that are auto-rigged. Really cool thing that Adobe should continue to support. People use it.
Yes.
Please add some more.
Please add more. Please add access to ones that have been retired because why not? It's just
There used to be
server
a whole
space or
collection of
something.
there used to be a whole collection of horse animations on there too.
It's just server space.
You have a great
you bought
horse need,
Frame.io for $40 billion. But
You could buy an extra computer.
you can have some space. All right, so I like this shoot because it ridges across like that. And one of the cool things is depending on which Mixamo animation you grab, some of them will have, they all have overdrive, which is basically speed, character arm space, which you'll see as I dial it up, will raise the default arm angle in case you have a model that's like a big old monster or something like that. But this one also has two other sliders for shoot angle and energy level. So I'm going to see what the shoot angle does. So it's an up or down situation.
Upper downer situation?
So let me look at the plate again, which we have right here. So it's pretty level, I think, to look like a good shot in the chest or something like that. So we'll stick with probably the default. That's a little high. Let me try to turn this arm angle down. And I could adjust these in Cinema as well.
Yeah.
Also, there's this checkbox for mirror because I do want the other arm. So now if I look at this, my biggest problem is that the angle of the camera is more like this, but the gun draw and the fire are at the wrong angle. So I'm going to have to fix that, but I do really like the gist of this. And
What's
I'm going
the
to
energy
modify
level
it.
slider do?
Yeah.
If you just very casually and very chill pull out a gun and kill somebody?
Let me pull the energy level way down.
Hey man, check this out. Boom. And the bullet just kind of saunters out.
If it's high.
The bullet just climbs out of bed.
I mean, if I gotta. Work.
I want the bullet to be voiced by you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I like about this speed. Though I also don't know if I should just use this standard gunplay one. This one might be easier because I can just turn off the all the other moves. And if I turn down the overdrive and make the direction a little bit lower, it'll probably just look like this, like the arms down at the side.
Yeah. He just pulls it up out from under the table.
Boom. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's turn the height down. Direction a little bit. Does this make it to the left or does this make it to the right?
That's going to his left.
Okay, so we want it
Green
more.
right. Nope, too far.
Okay, so what is the angle of this shot again?
It's
so
over
I should
the
just keep this window open, and then I can look at this.
You need it going slightly to the character's left, just slightly.
All right, look at this. This is high-tech stuff here, everyone. Just make your... Oh, dang it, come on. Okay, I want this window to be this big so I can put it right here and just imagine something like this. Oh, look. There's this sidebar that I can't get rid of. So the arm is down, reaches up, and fires. Okay, height. It's good. The direction needs to be a little bit straighter toward camera. That feels pretty good. Okay, I'm going to download this and deal with it. Seth, how are you doing in the meantime?
Meh. I did a...
That face was your how
yes,
you doing.
That's how I'm doing. I did a mask. I'm going to take a break from this shot for now. And
Oh, that's pretty great.
yeah, it's fine. It needs cleanup, and I obviously need to erase the head too and fix some of the Raptor stuff.
At some point, we will figure out how to be able to 3D track the chest or the base of the neck and the face in Cinema 4D and use them both as the input for the bone of the neck and the bone of the head.
Well, my thought is you just need
puppet pin.
you need to puppet pin, yes, but if there was okay, you have the hang on, no, okay, so we have the null, the 3D null that it kicks out. Basically, if I could get that 3D null into Cinema,
which you can,
you're gonna show me how in a second, because I actually don't know.
File export.
What?
File export.
I'm gonna murder you. Are you kidding me?
Let's go look and see if it's in there.
Export.
Yeah, Max and Cinema 4D exporter. It's right there.
I need an angry drop. I need a drop that's just pure anger.
But I don't think that nulls export. I think solids export.
Okay.
And the camera will export if you have one, which you should have created for use with GeoTracker, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. So here's what. Then what I'll need is for you guys to teach me espresso because I still haven't learned it yet. And because what I'm getting at is you have the movement for the head. You just need to inverse that movement on the neck, like that rotation on the neck, whatever. And the neck.
That's what I did with Grogu's collar in that Yoda thing I had pulled.
Oh, so you're wanting to make the neck turning be like instead of just the neck
opposite
solidly.
way.
You want the neck to be able to. Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't actually need the expression. If I bring that null information out, I can just attach that to one of the joints in the Raptor rig up top. Okay. Yeah. So let's see if I can do this.
Chris Verano says they have a gut feeling that they could do this kind of 3D tracking and would like you to send them the footage if you're curious. And Frigby Chillweather, regarding your gun animation, Hashi, says you could use that as a milking cow animation, a very aggressive milking cow animation.
Vranos, I'm curious.
That's an aggressive milking cow. I don't know.
Hey, Vranos, are you going to use... are you going to do that with your thing? With the damn it.
Lockdown?
Lockdown, thank you. Which, by the way, I have a little button called Lockdown that I use to pre-comp something and lock down it.
If you ever run into Chris Vranos, ask him if he loves that he chose the name Lockdown, circa early 2020, just as a product name.
Secrets.
Seth, if you want to switch to my screen, I can show you what I'm going to do.
Hey, actually, wait, do you have Vranos? Do you have like a direct link to him, like a message or email or something?
Reach out, Vranos. I think we're only connected through Twitter right now.
Well, I was going to say, if you could send him the plate, I want to see what he does.
Oh, wait, I do. Wait.
Chris Vranos says that this was the worst branding disaster ever. It was not the. I mean,
you could have named it Corona Down, and that would have.
Or it could be your spy agency naming themselves ISIS.
You could have named it ISIS. I mean, look, that's the thing. Any branding disaster, you could have named it ISIS.
All right. Where is the? Let's see. What is the file? Is this broken up into a plate? This one?
Yeah, no, it's in the thing. It's in the.
I'm gonna text it to Vranos right now.
Bob Walmsley's in the chat. Hey, Bob. Good seeing you, buddy.
Bob who?
Bob Walmsley.
Hi, Bob Walmsley.
Hello, Bob.
Unreal Motion 5 says hello, losers. Hi.
Hi, loser.
Get in. We're going VFXing.
Oh, Mike Gaines, you're in the chat. I gotta ask you something. You got called. I know you work on a million TV shows. We need to have Mike Gaines on the show.
We do need Mike Gaines on the show.
I've been rewatching. We've been rewatching in our house. We've been rewatching Last Man on Earth, which I'm now convinced is one of the greatest shows of all time because it holds up so well. It is so funny, so good. Mike, you worked on that, right? And if so, I have a million questions for you.
I just have one question, Mike.
Goku is asking, is it easier to do these kinds of Raptor videos in Blender or After Effects? They're very different tools. We would be using Cinema 4D, which we do use on videos, which is way more equivalent to Blender because Blender and Cinema 4D are both 3D animation tools, whereas the compositing is being done in After Effects. You can do compositing but in Blender, but After Effects is a better tool for it, one could argue. Mike Gaines says LMOE is my favorite in all caps. And yes, I did work on it.
All seasons, Mike? We could just have Mike on the show and I can ask him these things, but I like
If you ever want to know what the official abbreviation was, ask the VFX artists.
Well, because they're working on a bajillion shows, you got to shorten it somehow. I'm just going to call it Lamo from now on.
Lamo. All right, what was I doing?
Wait, how do you walk under that doorway?
Huh?
Let me tell you, I've been to Ireland and England because I lived in England for a couple of years. Went to Ireland on Christmas holiday one year, and both England and Ireland were built a long time ago when people were shorter. And I'm a tall person anyway. I would hit my head on so many things in both those countries.
Oh man.
Door frames, ceilings, light fixtures. Got my hair tangled in a chandelier. Mike Gaines said they started from season 2. They believe.
Okay, I'll ask you more questions later on off mic. And then maybe on mic. You should
or
come
on
the show.
mic, you can come on the show.
On mic.
Right.
Mike.
All right. If you want to switch over to me, Seth, for a second, I can show you what I'm up to, which is I can kind of undo through the steps that I just took, which was basically I grabbed the model in point mode and then just deleted everything I think I don't need, which is that side of the body, all of this stuff down here. I kept a little bit of the shoulder and a little bit of the shirt here just so I have extra. And then I started just deleting bits of the rig that I don't think I need. I don't think I need either leg. I don't think I really need the spine system and stuff like that. And so I moved the whole right shoulder kind of out of that system. So I just have a stable, from this point, gun raising and shooting. Now you may notice that the angle is wrong now that we're lined up properly here. It's down to the side, and that's proper. So it looked like that at the beginning of the shot. But then when it raises up, it's pointing this direction. So what I'm going to do,
you lost your spine animation because the spine animation curved.
Exactly, which would make sense. I mean but the problem with a plate is that obviously there's this one moment right here where the shoulder rolls forward, which I kind of like, but also the pained reaction I think really needs to exist throughout this. And so I think that I'll use this third gun raise. It's hard because I'm looking at Colin Farrell's facial performance, but that's going to be entirely replaced. So when we do our Raptor performance, we have to just watch the body language of the performance of the body.
Yep.
For our timing. And the skill of our Raptor face animation talents.
Well, speaking of,
but you know, like, I was trying to quickly open my Yoda talking file so I could say that we do sometimes figure it out. Oh, I'm loading the one where I had to convert it to point level animation.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have.
So yeah, check it out. I mean, like, here's our rigged Yoda. We got to this point the other week. That eat your heart out, ILM.
And look where I got a moving solid in cinema.
Hey, that's exactly like what I did for Harry Met Sally. And now with GeoTracker on Cinema 4D, I can combine these two into doing some real hair animation.
What we're not saying,
I am excited about this.
What we're not saying is that we could literally do actual object tracking in Cinema 4D if we just learn it, Hash.
There's a whole object tracking system.
We are the alternative. Love Cinema 4D, but don't want to learn how to use it.
VFX and do wrong. Do poorly. So if I bring this move solid.
Andrew Smith says, it's a bird. No, it's a plane.
It's a wall.
It's a bird.
It's a wall walking up a la VeggieTales.
That'd be He'd be a good villain, but it's always undone by Kool-Aid Man. Let me find. Let's move on. We will. On my end, I'm going to try to show the tracks and find the curves for this animation.
Oh, I guess I should go to you.
Let's see. So I'm right-clicking on the whole skeleton here, and I'm just going to say show F curves.
Yeah,
I'm going to move this up a little bit. And so what I want to do is I want to find I like the way the shoulder is down here, but then when it's raised, I want it to be facing forward. So I've got to reveal the keyframes for this. So I'm going to link the... where is their animation? I want to see it. Ah, my goodness. Why am I not seeing their curves down here? Maybe I'm not properly on the right take. Oh, I hate this system. Nope. I want that one. And I want not locked. And I want your, show me your curves. There they are. Okay.
Show me your curves.
Show me your curves.
Consensual Star Wars.
All right. So the shoulder rolls up a little bit here. So I'll keep the shoulder. Let's go to the right arm. Let's see what those look like. Why? I thought I linked these. There we go. Okay, so that rolls up to right about here. So what I want this to be is I want to find out which rotation. What do I want? Is it the H that I want to change? I do not like these names. Pitch, yaw, and hokey pokey. Let's see. Yeah, okay.
Hokey pokey.
So what I'm doing is, this is the Mixamo animation right here. And you can see that this rotation, for B, for what, bearing? What is it, Michael? Pitch heading and
banking.
Banking, sorry, yeah. So for banking, I do like the start here, but I don't like where it ends up. So I'm going to kill these keyframes in between here. Whoops. I selected too many. Killing all the ones in the middle here. Now I'm taking all of these keyframes, so it's maintaining a little bit of that motion capture bit. I'm going to drag them forward like this. So now this gun will point forward when it comes up. Look at that. Now, obviously, it's pointed too high, and it's wrong, but I'll bring it maybe down a little bit like this.
I would like to point out that there is a way in Cinema 4D to take a Mixamo rig and put a Cinema 4D rig on top of it. So you can animate on top of the Mixamo animation pretty automatically. It was a fairly recent feature added to Cinema 4D a couple versions back.
I can't remember what that's called, but that is true. This is true.
There's a Mixamo control rig that lets you take a Mixamo animation and pop your own animation on top of it, which, generally speaking, I would recommend versus doing it this way, except that Hashi's chopped the whole arm off of the thing, so this might be the better way to do it in this case. But if you're doing it with the whole model and just want to change a head turn or change an arm and you've got a whole model moving, then I would suggest using the Mixamo control rig in Cinema 4D instead. Bobby Giles is asking, what specs are your computers? Well, mine
I don't want to tell you. We tell you every
Mine
week.
is an HP Z laptop here. It's got a 2080 or 2070 in it. ZBook.
I am also running off a 2080.
But Hashi is an old Puget Systems build from a number of years ago.
Puget Systems build. And I do love Puget and my Puget system, and perhaps we can work together again and make a cool system that is equipped for this modern AI world that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, Hashi needs a bigger GPU, guys.
That's
and gals and Puget Systems. Frankly, I do too, but that's a whole other discussion. Ogami Gamer says hello. Hello, Ogami Gamer. And Guest Boy says hi. We are part of their childhood. Thanks for serving YouTube all these years.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed doing those.
And again, hello to everyone on Action Movie Kid YouTube channel. The Hashi here in the middle is the Action Movie Dad, who has worked on Hollywood visual effects and making his kids do cool things over the years. Now he's sharing his secrets with you.
I sure am.
To make raptors shoot people.
It's important work.
Yeah, it is.
But again, as I mentioned earlier, making raptors into shots while silly on the surface, is a great way to learn a lot of things. The normal kind of task you have to do in every regular VFX shot, you have to do here: color matching, motion tracking, motion matching, and all compositing tricks. It's stuff you have to do in quote unquote real visual effects shots anyway. This is just a much more fun way to do it.
Oh no, I don't know how to do something. Why can't I just,
What are you trying to do?
I just want to hide everything except for the,
There is
my
a
pitch.
mode. There is a mode to only show the thing you have selected, and I don't know how you got into the mode you're currently in.
Let me see. There we go. Pitch only for the right forearm.
Guest boy, feel free to suggest an idea. We are reading the chat.
Michael, what's the... It's going to be the easiest way to get this solids, like mainly it's rotation, I think. Best way to get it and put it on this raptor.
You want to position it at the 0 point right now, like put it in a null and put it there, and then you want to drop the bone from the head there, the whole hierarchy under the head.
Put it in null and put it in the 0 position. Okay. How do I get it to the 0 position?
I think you can make it. You can make it a child of it at first, and then zero out the position, and then move it back outside, or you could take the whole object and its animation with the you're in object mode right now. If you switch to object and animation, I think if you drag the whole thing to the same position as the head, it'll move the whole thing there.
Oh, really?
I might be saying that completely incorrectly, though.
Oh. Wow. Okay. What the? Oh. Wait.
My goodness, we ballooned. A harder problem than we thought.
This is not doing something.
What exactly are you trying to do? You just want that movement on the raptor's head? You could just parent the raptor head to it.
Yeah, but they're all offset. I'm trying to figure out how
Oh, just move the raptor head
to cleanly...
to it using the parent command instead of...
What is the parent command?
Shift-C parent.
What?
Shift-C and type parent.
Shift-C.
That may type parent, yeah. There's a little should be set parent. There it is.
Okay. Now what?
Uh,
Wait, what? What did I just do?
I don't know.
Michael.
Yes.
What do you do when you set parent? It didn't set...
I don't know. It didn't seem to do what I wanted to do it.
Well, no, because how am I setting a parent when I just typed set parent and clicked it? I didn't specify what I wanted the parent to be.
I know. I'm very curious what that did.
Nothing.
'Cause I use the unparent command all the time.
Well, how? Clearly not the way you just told me to do it.
No, I didn't do that. Let's hang on. So your raptor is, yeah. So just parent it to the thing and then then zero out its position and rotation. Just drag it under the solid.
Okay.
And then zero out its transform information. Scoot our heads out of the way so people can see it.
Remind me how to do that.
Oh, just scoot our heads out. Then just right click on the arrows, or do that. And then your rotation too, probably.
Okay. So now the trick is...
This is zero out the rotation too.
I will, but the trick now is to
get the neck to hold.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in theory, you should be able to put the neck inside that null, the neck bone, just like with when we do our ragdoll simulation things.
Hmm?
I don't know. Like, I feel like the idea is you literally move the whole armature of the head downward into the head, or into the head null, and then you move the whole hierarchy left over into the chest tract solid. Did that make any sense?
I see what you're saying, but you can't move the
Oh.
hierarchy because you need the parent system to be in place. But you could use a constraint tag to make that attach.
I only brought the head null in. I did not bring the chest null in.
Oh, you need the chest null.
You need the chest null. All right, let's see.
Yeah, and then you would constrain one bone to one bone to the other without actually doing the parenting hierarchy.
That's how our ragdoll things work. Like you have a rigged character, but
guys,
then
I
you
don't
break
ever pay
them all
attention.
into a bunch of like disconnected nulls that are moving around like they're their individual pieces.
Guys, I got news for you. I have ADHD, so I don't ever hear you when you're talking about ragdolls.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
They also, the chest and the head live in two different, I feel like they live in different spaces. Because...
Oh, that would be tricky. Goku says they're trying to learn visual effects similar to Raptor videos, but don't know exactly where to start. What should they learn first?
What should they learn first? The Raptor videos are actually a very good example of being able to take some piece of footage that you like and replacing some part of it with something and trying to learn what you can replace and get away with. So that's one of the reasons why we like doing these as demonstrations, because depending on what type of shot, you can learn a bunch of fundamentals like camera tracking, clone stamping of the background if you basically just want to do something that is like Photoshop but one step more advanced. And the other idea is to find a shot that you like and try recreating it with using the resources that you do have. And your goal doesn't need to be to completely reproduce it, but it can be to use that creative idea as a way to put together one or more elements that aren't supposed to belong together and trying to make them look like they do belong together in one shot. That felt more intelligent than I think it sounded.
There's some chat happening on the Action Movie Kids YouTube channel saying Woo471UYT says, OMG, I love Action Movie Kids. Watched them as a kid. Happy
Thank
St.
you.
Patrick's Day. Other people are saying they did too. You're the best Action Movie Kids. They're just all excited about how great
Thank you so much.
And Woo471 says, I bet you the kid is about 12 years old now. How old are your children, since both of them have featured?
That is correct. We have James is 12, Sophia is 8. And we do, in the abstract future, plan to do a Action Movie Kid specific episode where we will try to have guests from the cast of Action Movie Kid, because I know them. And depending on their schedules, we do our show naturally during school time. So there's a bit of working out that we'd have to do, but there's always summer and there's exciting stuff like that. James would love to say hi to you all and answer some of your questions, and we could maybe revisit some Action Movie Kid videos and answer some cool questions live. So without knowing what our schedule is yet, we would like to do this in the near future, and it's on our perpetual list.
Zayd on the Red Giant channel is asking, hey, what are you working on? They are adding a raptor to a very Irish movie for St. Patrick's Day. The Banshees of Inisherin. Or Ed Sheeran, or whatever it's pronounced.
The Banshees of Ed Sheeran. Mm-hmm. Hey, how do I delete just the rotational keyframes on something?
Right click and hit delete track. Animation.
Animation, delete track. Thank you.
And if you want to do all the rotations at once, do it on the R instead of on the HPB.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well, I'll do that next time.
That selects all of them.
Copy that. So now I've got. Okay. Yes.
You might want to rename your
Close.
solids so you don't get confused at which one's which. Drew Protula says, so I can say whatever I want in here and you have to read it. Yes, but I don't have to read it out loud. I can read it in my head.
That's true. Yeah. We do appreciate you coming by, though.
And saying things. The majority of the chat on this show, VFX and Chill, happens on the Red Giant YouTube channel because that's where it originated. And this is where the replays will live. We are streaming to 6 different sources right now, onto Twitch, Facebook, and multiple YouTube channels. The replays will live on the Red Giant YouTube channel. So if you want to hear our jokes again or learn exactly what was in the drinks we've been drinking this episode, you want to scroll back to the beginning, you'll be able to watch the replay on the Red Giant YouTube channel.
Look at that.
So Zaid, to be more specific to what are they working on, right now Seth is trying to get this raptor head animation to match Colin Farrell's as he walks into the scene. And Hashi is replacing, he's putting a gun in the hand of a character that did not previously have one.
Yes.
And that we know of. They could have had it under the table. We don't know.
And if you're a long-time action movie kid watcher, we believe guns are bad. But
it's funny when dinosaurs have them.
But it is fun. Yeah, I'm okay with dinosaurs having them.
Because they're already a weapon as it is.
I'm hoping that
they got weapony teeth.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Okay, what have I done?
That raptor has a snapped neck.
Yeah, I don't like what just happened there. Why does it have a snapped neck?
Seth, the problem is there's keyframes there, so you need to set another keyframe to make it stop doing that.
Done.
There you go.
Yeah, if you are a new watcher, we are attempting to do a St. Patrick's Day styled thing here, but in general, what we do is we either see a movie trailer or recent movie or TV show, and try to break down the visual effects of that show and show you a home version of the way to do it. Basically, anyone who ever wanted to see making ofs from Action Movie Kid. While I tried doing them on Action Movie Dad on my own for a while, it wasn't as efficient as having this lovely team with me to do weekly, where people can ask me literally anything they want. So if you got a question, ask it right here and we'll answer.
So in this case, when you saw the Banshees of Inisherin and we're like, how did they put that raptor on Colin Farrell's head? This is the answer.
Yes, this show is usually taking apart Hollywood visual effects, but it does occasionally devolve into us adding raptors to things where raptors did not originally exist.
It's possible that happens. It's happened once and or twice.
I mean, there's a whole Twitter account that got very popular based on us doing a joke on a Mission Impossible trailer. I think it's how
we really are responding to you all. You
did this.
Willingly or not,
it was sparked by the chat. Yeah.
I don't think I'm so confused.
Well, that's a good place to end our show on, is us being confused.
To end the show in confusion. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed your time with us. Really, it's about spending time with us is what it is. And yeah, via the chat, you have direct access to really cool questions. If you want really nicely curated content, we have nicely recorded tutorials like one from Michael that is going to drop in a few days, a bunch of archived ones here on the Red Giant channel. And if you decide to follow the Maxon training team, you will see lots of other cool live shows that answer a bunch of really specific questions from people more knowledgeable in worlds like 3D or color correction and things like that. But if you want, just like today, to hang out with these three guys talking about the history of Ireland and doing visual effects, please stop by every Friday for VFX and Chill.
Do it.